This is a platform where we get well or we get well trying. Today's topic is on how to align yourself with your planetary placements and why it is important. I'm sure you heard the saying, as above, so below, so let's begin. At this time, blessings are being bestowed upon the obedient. Your dreams have manifested into projects and tangible goals that are quite quickly shifting into divine opportunities that once seemed questionable. The year 2024 was a divine test of your self-belief. This test was administered for you to recognize and avoid repeated cycles of self-sabotaging behaviors. This test was formed by confusion. You know, the good old no one understand you method to cause isolation, loneliness, and depression. It was sent with passion to incite social anxiety with strangers and to cause intense arguments with family as an attack on your mentality and character or those close to you. It arrived as conflict to cause mental anguish in forms of sleepless nights, anger, and fight or flight, fearful energy. This is called spiritual interference designed by familiar spirits for you to self-sabotage your healing journey. But I am here to remind you of all you have overcame. So at this time, I render a moment of silence for you to pat yourself on the back. What you have accomplished is not an easy feat. Now it's time to cover and align. Cover your blessings with protection prayers and align yourself with your planetary placements to enhance your spiritual purpose. I have elaborated on many ways the Most High provide divine protection from spiritual attacks in my previous videos. The focus of this subject is on using the planetary placements to align with your higher self. I will try to keep this process as simple as possible, so let's begin. You will need your birth chart, also called a natal chart. This chart maps the exact moment and place of your birth. It also shows the position of planets within the 12 zodiac sign at the time of your birth. So you will also need to know the time you were born. If you don't have this information, you can still use your birth chart to discover where the planets were positioned at the time of your birth. With this information, you can begin your healing and transformative process needed for the necessary changes in your life. I heard someone ask, why is this important? For my seasoned warrior, why is this important? To know thyself, to include sinful behavior, is an effective way to protect yourself and your blessings. In order for me to answer this question, I will share my experience with you so you can avoid some of the pitfalls and delays along your spiritual journey. Along my journey, I was warned by the Most High that my house was under attack, that someone was plotting to break in and rob me. This download was revealed a warning to read documents, contracts carefully before signing. What I'm trying to say is this download also revealed a warning to read documents and contracts carefully before signing them. What I did not understand was I was supposed to respond, not react. I took this information literally and reacted by going to buy a for my home. I arrived at the shop and was ready to purchase my but had to fill out a background check, a document for a background check. Not taking heed to the warning, I read and signed these documents, and within 24 hours I was wanted by police for forgery. I was facing a 5-count felony charge along with 2 misdemeanors. This was designed to attack my character and leave me in financial ruins and homeless. I understood that a hex was placed over my life, and I also knew the people that did it. What I did not understand was how to protect myself. As I mentioned before, as above, so below. The enemy, or should I say, my destiny thieves, was robbing my astrological house and the ethers, using divination against me. As I studied the houses of astrology, I studied the zodiac signs and learned that each house represents a separate area and specific function of my life. Like the first house represents the house of self, and so on. Then I applied my situation to the houses and learned that my astrological houses are being robbed, not my physical house. The enemy needed me to react to his trap to have me imprisoned and homeless by attacking and stealing from my second house of money and possessions. When the spiritual thieves broke into my second house, they robbed my finances through unfair legal allegations where I had to pay lawyers and lawyer fees. They stole my career opportunities along with slandering my character and reputation for any future income or possibilities. I heard someone ask, how did they get in? They entered through my first house, the house of self. This house is the most personal and powerful house in the houses of astrology because it reveals the way you present yourself and the way the outside world sees you. I thought I loved myself, but it was here in my first house where the Most High showed me that I did not, because I did not know myself. It was here that the first house of self I began loving myself, or beginning my self-love journey of self-awareness. I began a new relationship with myself by putting me first. I aligned my zodiac signs using the astrology in my birth chart. So if your sign, for an example, is Gemini, and Gemini rules the third house of communication, what planet rules the house of communication? That planet is Mercury. The position of the planet in the house of Gemini explains your good points and bad points for you to work on or stop altogether. This is just an example of how to align yourself with your planetary placements. Without this hidden information about myself, I unknowingly gave the spiritual thieves the keys to my astrological home for total destruction. Me not knowing my worth and putting people's needs before my own caused me to lose everything and have my house, or almost lose everything, should I say, but my homes were most definitely vandalized and set on fire. I was taken for granted by people I trust and love. I was left to my demise while under severe spiritual attack. By the time I got to my sixth house, I was awakened by the dangers through the many attacks to unalive me. I walked away from everything and everyone in 2021. I began loving myself and relying on the Most High in my prayers to guide me. By the time I aligned myself to my 12th house, which is the house of undoing sorrow and karma, I had learned enough about myself to close out the repetitive cycles that were once used to cause destruction in my life. I learned how to use my prayers. I learned how to rely on the Most High unchanging hand. And I officially sent my enemies to spiritual court by calling judgment on them for breaking into my astrological houses, which is a violation of spiritual law. This has been the Wellness Corner, a platform where we get well or we get well trying. Stay safe, guys.